Black prayer. So much hate I received even by those whom claimed to have loved me. Born to the words of "you should have never been born." I should have removed you from my womb before you could breathe, were the first words that I received once I was born into the world which hated me. Years of abuse from the time I was young and carried out daily as if it was a new rising sun. Came the beatings to start and finish the day. How those with religious beliefs only saw the skin on me and did their best to shame me in every way each day of the life given to me. Oh yes, their beliefs were so accepting of those who did not look like me. Yet I looked upward night and day as I was told my prayers would be heard and answered, to give me freedom each and every day. And I truly believed it would all end this way. I did pray every day, and I wondered if the Great Spirit had been listening. With each passing day, the hate grew more, and I knew that I must do more to change everything. So I pray harder each day, but the answer never came to answer me. Why do you make me stay? Why am I punished this way? Why was I given the skin to be ridiculed time and time again? Now there are no tears left to fall from me. I sent out my prayer night and day asking you to take my breath away, but you never answered me. I asked you to take me so that I would have no more pain. For if you took my last breath, I would be feeling nothing anymore and finally be at peace. I asked why you allowed me to survive all the things that I have done, as I am no longer worthy to stand before you. I asked you to take me, for my skin was seen as a skin. The one they felt was not human because I do not look like them. Causes the fear of me for them, and yet I am the one which is the problem. Oh, how the black prayers went on over and over again, as if in the loop of karma, time and time again, and yet here I still am. Were my prayers not heard as my creation was a sin against the world? Or was it the damage the world had done to me, seeing the life I had this way? Or had I missed the point that the Great Spirit made me strong to teach me how to love myself? So my questions came and gone through the darkness of the unknown as I lost that which was me. I had seen too much, all the things that a being should never see. I heard the cries of the dying and felt the shame that it was not me taking their place to end the misery and the pain. I had done too much swimming through the rivers of blood which became home for me. How dark you said my prayers had become, and yet you knew nothing about me. Or is it that I must not pray about my dark days, for it makes you uncomfortable in the world in which you had created for me? Only those living in the darkness know the sound of the song of the Black Prayer song calling out to them as they have lost all and can no longer see. What has created the words of my truth? Why do you cringe at the words that do not belong to you? How you scream and shout that you had no right to speak the words of the Black Prayer song that now come forth from me. The darkest days will come to those that are strong, creating the Black Prayer tone, so that they open their eyes to see that this is their reality. Can you hear it? Can you hear that sound of the Black Prayer hum as it comes to touch the brain that no one else can hear or see? Yes, I pray night and day of the Black Prayer became home to that which I thought was me. Here comes that sound of peace and quiet once the Black Prayer was answered to me. Through the darkness I found light as the Black Prayer had guided me through the darkness of no light. So that I could be here to right what the darkness has done to me. Black Prayer was written in regard to the dark days that have come through the changes of all the violence and trauma that one has gone through. And when you feel that you can no longer find the light, it's about finding the light inside yourself through all the dark days that you've been through. It's about reaching that point that many can't understand, that you feel you can't go on, but for some reason you stay strong and you survive through the adversity of life. Knowing that you never really had a life, you never lived, you only survived all that you've been put through day and day again, but the pain never seems to cease and never comes to an end. Three by three was the space we had as we were stacked and packed, being kidnapped from our land. Centuries of cruelty is all that you have for me as a man and a woman you say I am not allowed to be. The slave catchers still run wild and free, and some of them even have the same skin as me. Lost in the ways that the chains have their minds, they all have forgotten the term humankind. What is it that you learn from history? Have you learned not to have a self-determination or your own beliefs? Even with the whip, you have been taught how you are meant to pray and what the words are there that you should say. I looked into the books, and what did I see? There was no one that looked anything like me. Oh, how I have learned to self-hate and please you by complying and tolerate the evil in which you perpetuate. Yes, that was centuries of abuse for those like me. You tell me that you did not do it or forget it and just let it be. Now you are in the 3 by 3 next to me, chained by the world that is no longer free. For we are all now enslaved in a world of hate. Question is, how long will you comply and tolerate you're no longer free? Worst thing about it is that you're chained you cannot see. The day you said the N-word was the day you thought that you would make America great. The day you said the N-word, you thought you could fit in by saying it was our word to use and abuse as our history is embedded the nasty taste. The day you said the N-word and thought that you can relate. Our music, our culture stolen and taught to self-hate as people we have become taught to hate. Have you noticed that the rage is embraced? Spewing the filth from your mouth made you feel powerful enough to call yourself the master race. Feeling so proud, even using in terms of so-called religious views when you all embrace his hate. How twisted is your mind, lost in the ocean of hate. You say the N-word now as you read what I've wrote. Does it enrage you because the words make you swallow hard? And the word is now stuck in your throat. No, something happens by reading these words. You had to stop and think for a microsecond now and realize that it's true. I have reached inside the hate which is you. Perhaps it is the perfect time for the universe to be destroyed, as it does not need a planet full of beings like you. For all have lost their way, caught in the game of me and you. Caught in the game of you are nothing like me and I am nothing like you. Who has played while you were lost in your rage, and who pulled the strings? Hell is running over now as you feed it with your hate and rage.
So many words thrown around, so I'll get back to the so-called master race. There was only one race, being the human race. And once the species was successfully divided, you became a slave to the belief of there being a so-called master race. Be angry with my words, as your anger speaks the truth which you have now heard, and it is not for me to judge, but for you at the gates when the time comes. Be it heaven or hell, you will make an excuse on that day about the words you have become.
So go on, continue to use the N-word, lost, as you are not making the world great, but tearing it down with your hate. A history that humans not learn from. You have lost future, for you choose a past that never had a place. How is it that we say we have evolved when we are filled with so much hate? Go on and say the N-word, no matter who you are, as you are another sheep lost in the tide of hate. Self-destruction runs now, and it is far too late to change your fate. As you sleep in the darkness, those in the light have become truly awake.
I was a true believer, loving without question all that I was told. I was the believer that became rage and carried out every mission that I was told. For we do not question, only do or die. Why was I punished in a way that made me old? Why had my loving heart become hard and cold? Only in the darkness could I understand the light. Only in the darkness did I gain my sight. All men created equal was your lie, for you held me enslaved along with the rest of mankind. Yet I still followed all that was what you made me to be, wearing the eagle globe and anchor and sailing the seven seas with pride. For I had been reborn only to fight and die. Returning from hell, passing through the gates, thinking I would return to love of service and only found your hate. You deported me, for my skin color meant my service was less than your hate. Left in the screams of the world, you made me see. Left in a world with blood on my hands, that things will never go away. Left in a world and no longer having a mind. It was the insanity that has me carry on. What we learned late through all this hate, we had a belief in a world that looked at me in hate. We learned that it was far too late when we learned that we have become enslaved to our rage. If only I had Benjamin Button disease, so that I could have learned before I had become far too late.
I had become the slave of the abuse that you have shown from me from the time of my birth, for I had never learned to retaliate. Only give in, you, my love, care, the obedience, and now I have your fate and faith. Lost in your beliefs, your religion teaching you to love while you abuse me and share your hate. This is the things we learn through all your hate.